All these controversies flying around and online about Wizkid and Davido just had me reminiscing about the good old days, when Wizkid and Davido were friends. Or at least they were cool, and now it's a full-blown rivalry, which is just fueled by fans for the most part. And I'm just there like, what exactly really happened? Let me take it down memory lane. When both Wizkid and Davido first came onto the scene in the early 2010s, it felt like we were witnessing the rise of two kings. They each had their unique sounds, their own fan bases, and there was room for both to shine. And for a while, they actually did. It wasn't all rivalry back then. In fact, they had some real moments. They supported each other's music and were even spotted at events together. But as their fame grew, so did the tension. And as you know, when two stars are rising side by side, comparisons are inevitable. And let's be honest, fans and the media can make things even more intense. Slowly, cracks started showing. It wasn't outright beef at first, but we began to see some subtle shade being thrown on social media. Fans started picking sides, Wizkid FC, Dirty BG, and before long, the friendly competition became a full-blown rivalry. But then came 2017. That moment when Wizkid invited Davido on stage at his Made in Lagos concert. It was massive. It wasn't just about the music, it felt like a peace offering, a moment of unity that fans had been waiting for. For a while, it felt like things had cooled down. There was even talk of a possible collaboration. The energy was so positive that fans started thinking, maybe these two guys can actually stay cool. And fast forward to now, and we've seen things take a different turn again. Just recently, Wizkid went off on social media throwing jabs at Davido directly, calling him whack and claiming to be the biggest artist, not just in Africa, but in the world. And let's be honest, some of these claims were, well, interesting.
Sensational.
But what was surprising was Davido's response, or rather, his lack of one. Davido kept quiet. I mean, like the same Davido that we know. No clapback, no statement. He literally kept quiet. Some people think it's a sign of maturity, and of course, others think he's or he probably just doesn't want to engage anymore. So what's really going on between these two? A lot of it comes down to competition. They are both massive stars with global recognition, and there's always going to be that unspoken pressure of who's on top. They've got different styles, different fan bases, and both of them have been extremely successful in their own lanes. But it's also about the fans and the media. The constant comparison over the years has added fuel to the fire, pushing them into a space where it sometimes feels like there can only be one king of Afrobeats. It's a lot of pressure, and every now and then it boils over. Now, let's talk about Wizkid's recent outburst. When he called himself the biggest artist in the world, it's raised some eyebrows, no doubt. Wizzy has done amazing things for Afrobeats globally, but calling himself the biggest in the world? Bruh, that's a bold claim. And that's where the fan base is coming. Wizkid FC would always back their guy, obviously, but others see it as an overreach, especially when Davido's recent former deal is fresh in people's minds. It looked like Wizzy's shots were coming from a place of frustration and jealousy. Because how do you explain this?
Artist of what caliber? Brother, you have not had a hit in 4 years. 4 years you have not had a hit. You're tweeting at David, talking all this nonsense at Davido. Dude's at Puma in New York City unveiling his new collection. An artist of what caliber? What caliber?
Anyways, where does this leave us? Will we ever see them on stage together again like in 2017? Maybe. I mean, if anything, history has shown that these two can go from rivals to friends and back again. The music industry is unpredictable. If there's one thing we've learned, is that anything is possible. But for now, it seems like Davido's silence speaks volume. Davido was literally exhibiting maturity. Sorry for the laugh. But anyways, some people think he's focusing on his music and brand, while Wizkid is making headlines with his words. So my own question is, does Wizkid really hate Davido, or is he just using this whole controversy to promote his upcoming album, Morayo?